that point into our simulated countdown.
Lunchtime, kids! All right! Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
It's Friday, somewhere in America. A broadcast studio stuck someplace and no place all at once. Four lost souls have found themselves trapped in an endless pursuit of producing live digital content until the end of foreseeable time. Their names have been lost to history, but today we'll call them Matt, your host, Anna in the studio as well, Christina alongside, and Zach running the board until, until his arms fall off, I guess. That's what we're going to do. Welcome to the lunch break zone. We have today for you a wonderful show, I believe. Normally on our show we have news, but our gracious Sarah Strackhouse has bailed on us, so that will not be happening today. Also not happening today is Josh, which we've basically forgotten about him. He doesn't exist anymore. So
Good.
He will not be here today. He may be here, but we're not going to let him in.
Josh who?
Exactly. So yeah, today we've got a number of very wonderful stories, including some fat shaming going on in, I forget where is it?
Greece.
Greece? Yes, Greece. Fat shaming going on in Greece. So we all, I'm sure those of us who love to travel like to go experience the culture of the place, go do some, if you're whatever, somewhere where they like to go jet skiing. Maybe you go jet skiing in the Caribbean or something
Perhaps.
like that. Maybe you go snow skiing in the mountains somewhere.
Do the things you don't normally do in your day to day when you're on holiday, because it's a vacation.
Exactly. You step outside of your comfort zone, and one of those might be doing some donkey riding, I guess. Taking some donkeys up and down the slopes of Greece, right? That sounds like actually a lovely afternoon. I don't know if anybody here agrees with that or not.
I do.
Okay. Yeah, you would enjoy doing some donkey riding?
Would, especially Greece. I haven't been, but it's one of those places that is very steep, has especially where this article the news take place. It was Santorini, which is a very Instagrammable place. Mm-hmm. It is very steep, very hilly. Right.
Have you done anybody here done any horseback riding?
Not on tourist I've done horse riding, normal style.
Just
not
wherever,
not like on a beach.
Just downtown.
What?
Yeah.
Normal style. That's all. You're riding on a horse with a saddle. It doesn't matter if it's on a beach.
It's not like an idyllic, kind of like beach with your person and you're just both looking at the sunset. Nothing like that.
Well, you're a world traveler.
Like a romance novel.
Yeah.
I guess.
Is that real life?
Yeah, just normal horseback riding on the beach at sunset.
Exactly. Nothing like that.
Everyone does.
Like everyone does.
Yeah, where was this slum you were riding a horse? Where did that happen?
It's just my dad's friend had a horse.
Okay.
Oh, fair enough.
He taught me how to ride a horse.
Well, was it like on a ranch? Was it sunny?
No, it wasn't ranch. It wasn't sunny, and it was just kind of like my hometown is kind of a smaller town, so you wouldn't have to drive far to actually get somewhere with a bit of a land where you can do some horse riding.
Christina, you perked up at the sound of horseback riding.
Horseback riding.
Yeah.
I used to like professionally ride when I was younger.
Really?
Oh,
Hold on.
Christina,
Okay,
you were a horse girl. That's what that
I am a
means.
horse
Yeah.
girl.
Oh,
I
no.
am.
Me here as an amateur, I want to know the real deal.
I did
Tell
like
us
the
all about it.
barrel racing.
Oh, so you're like rodeo.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you're-
like rodeo, like
okay.
the whatever they're called, hurdles or whatever those are called. I forgot.
The
It's been a
steeple?
long time.
Is that the steeplechase? Is that what that
The,
is?
like the little
like
jump
jumping?
things.
Yeah.
And if you don't like look over, the horse will throw you off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to like look over with the horse for the horse to like jump over it.
So you can't like lean back or something
No,
like that?
you will.
Yeah.
They will throw you off, and you will go
Wow,
flying.
that sounds intense.
Wow.
fun.
I had no idea I was in the room with a pro here when I'm talking about donkey riding like
It
an
was
idiot.
like when I was 8, so
Even more impressive when you were 8.
yeah,
That's
like 8 to, like,
incredible.
10.
Did you win any ribbons?
I did win lots of ribbons. I won blue ribbons, I guess red ribbons.
Yeah.
How does that go? What's the level?
Blue is the top,
Yeah.
and then red. I never got the third one, so I don't remember what.
Because
it
you're
was.
that
I never
good.
came in third.
No, I either
Christina, I never
first
came
or
in third
second.
on horse riding.
Exactly. Can you make that my like memo?
Right, yeah, like your
No, that
lower
has to
third.
A little
Your,
bio.
your
Never on-
bio.
never in
yeah,
third.
yeah. Of course.
Well, anyway, in Greece, they have these donkeys that are there for you to rent, or you go on like you would do a Segway tour here in Dallas. I guess you do a donkey tour in Greece, go up and down the hills. Well, the Greek Ministry of Rural Development and Food, which is an interesting office, I guess, said that the donkeys should not be loaded with weight excessive in size, age, or physical condition, and they set those parameters at 100 kilos, which is about 220 pounds. So anyone more than 220 pounds, not allowed to ride the donkeys of Santorini. The animal rights groups have said that's a little bit kind of BS because they say it's for the donkey's sake, but they also don't treat these donkeys very well anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a useless gesture towards safety. But I remember I went to a couple of years ago. I went horseback riding in Grapevine, and so we went like around the lake, or not around the lake, but to the shores of the lake, and then came back. And they definitely had horses for people who were, it was like you have your normal horses and then you have like your Clydesdales for people who were like heavier. And so you're having to ride like this enormous, like, I don't know if you've ever seen a Clydesdale, but they're huge.
Giants.
Yeah, they're like the biggest horses you've ever seen in your life.
Wow.
And so
Kind of proportional, right?
Right, yeah.
A stronger, kind of more hardcore
Yeah.
horse.
A hardier horse is what
Hardier
you're saying.
horse.
It's definitely-
I guess.
It's definitely intense when like you see the normal horses trot up and they're like right here, and then the Clydesdale's like this,
Wow.
above your head or something like that, and you're having to climb up on it.
Yeah, but that kind of example is, people riding horses. Normally, the horse is there for the whole day, right?
Sure, yeah.
And that's also something that I just realized you didn't end your story. I'm sorry, Matt.
Oh,
No, as in what you were saying, they went back horsing. Is that?
yeah. Well, no, that was it. That was
Oh,
just that
okay.
they had like multiple sizes of horse. Now donkeys
Okay.
only come in a specific size. You can only get so big of a donkey until it's, I don't know what it is.
A mule.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Right.
But still, they're fairly small, and the problem is people are, if you're gonna go down that route, you also have those. How do you call those? And I keep thinking in the French the French name for it, charrette, which are like those cars pulled by horses. How do you call them?
Carriage?
Buggies.
Yeah.
Carriage. Yeah, like if you have those people that ride those carriages in downtown, the horse is there for the whole day too. So,
Right.
These places, these touristy places also have those horses there for the whole day. They may not carry people, but they still pull people. So I
don't have
think
a
it
problem
should be
with this. Like,
overall.
I don't have a problem. I mean, if they're not treating their donkeys well otherwise, that's a
Yeah.
problem. But I don't have a problem with setting like a limit on who can get on donkeys. I mean, it's a
I
physical
totally
thing. Like there only so much can only take so much.
Right.
Sorry if you can't get on the donkey, but like that's the that's your lot in life. I guess.
Elevators have a weight limit. I
Right.
mean, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. There we go. We rest our case.
Yeah.
If elevators have a weight limit, then
So can
donkeys
donkeys.
too. I mean, they were having spinal spinal injuries.
Yeah.
Like that's so serious.
Okay, hold on now, Anna. Let me jump into the role of devil's advocate here. It's worth mentioning, all right, that donkeys are organic beings. Elevators are mechanical. All right, things rust. That stuff gets old, right? Those parts start to bend.
Yeah,
and
donkeys
break.
don't get old.
Donkeys, though. They're flexible, man. They got muscles. They can run. Like, they'll grow back, right? That's the whole thing when you go and work out. You tear your muscles down, and you build them back up stronger. I think it's good for the donkeys.
Are you saying we need stronger donkeys?
That's what I'm saying.
So
we need stronger donkeys.
Mutant donkeys.
Are you also sympathizing with an inanimate object?
No, I'm sympathizing with fat people is what I'm sympathizing with who can't ride donkeys. So, yeah.
I agree with, yes, fat shame all you want, donkeys. I'll side with the donkeys every day of the week, probably.
Me too.
They're
I'm with
so
you.
cute.
They're mean too, though. They're
They are?
mean.
They're mean.
They can be. Yeah, they can bite and
They're
all sorts of
raised
stuff.
the wrong way.
Well,
No.
right, yeah. These
It's
wild.
It's just like pit bulls, you know.
Grecian
if you raise
donkeys.
them the right way, they'll be your
True.
pets.
Exactly.
No, that's a lie. They probably always bite.
No. They
Not
are.
pit bulls. I'm talking about donkeys.
Oh.
Sorry. I love pit bulls. No, but donkeys. Yeah, they watch out for their mouths.
Watch out for them. They have teeth. They can
Real
bite.
talk, though.
Yeah,
Those donkeys,
oof.
though. Watch
Yeah.
out.
They're naughty.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the lunch break. I forgot the name of the show for a second.
Just
Yes,
for a second.
lunch break. I
So
was like, that
many
doesn't sound
shows.
right.
Matt just hosts so many shows every day.
Yeah, I don't know where I am.
He's scoreboarding us.
Yeah. When we come back, thousands of ladies are dying to get in your bed. We'll tell you why you shouldn't invite them here on the lunch break on RNCN. Stick around.
Well, if you really want to be frightened, call me at 1-900-909-3344. I'll tell you a different spooky story every day. When you call, you'll find out how to get one of these gruesome little ruffy creatures, and part of your $2.35 two-minute call will go to Special Olympics. So get your parents' permission and call me at 1-900-909-3344, unless you're afraid of monsters, vampires, and ghosts.
If maniacs, zombies, aliens, monsters, and madmen are your line, then try this. Creep Phone, the phone number nightmares are made of. Call 1-900-909-CREEP. Creep Phone puts you in touch with the baddest of the bad. And now you can be a Creep Phone star. Record your own screaming monster madness. You may be heard by millions of Creep Phone fans nationwide. Call now. Under 18, get permission before calling. $2 first minute, 45 cents each additional minute.
Man, I am such a fan of Creep Phone.
Creep Phone.
1-900-909-CREEP. How great is that?
It's just so good.
Creep
just
Phone
like-
is tremendous.
You just step out of the house and you just go to a weird area and you're in Creep Town.
You're right, yeah.
So being able to do that in your phone is just like even easier.
I'm sure there
right?
are plenty of ladies familiar with Creep Phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was a completely different thing, honestly.
Creep Phone.
All right, well, here is an interesting story coming to us from the UK. We tend to get a lot of stories from the UK. They just do weird stories over there, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
The news
yeah.
is just all over the place.
Yeah, and I guess I just tend to pick them up because
I find them too, though.
yeah, true.
Yeah, whenever I'm finding interesting story going through headlines, I see, oh, that's an interesting headline. It always comes from like the Mirror or something like that.
oh yeah.
Um,
And people say, "Oh, everything in America is weird. No. You just don't search well enough.
The UK is the Florida of the world. So this story comes to us from, I don't know the town, but let's see here if it says. No, it just says British homes. Thousands of foreign this says ladybirds.
Yeah. Ladybirds.
But these are ladybugs. It's like the same thing.
That's what they call it, ladybirds.
Ladybirds.
Yes, the
I've never heard
ladybugs, they call it ladybirds.
Yeah, they're the little orange bugs with black spots. Yeah. Ladybugs.
Yes, yeah, it's cuter. The UK has kind of like really cute names for things that you kind of you
right.
know.
Oh sure.
Well, it's just okay. Car boot is the trunk.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of a trunk, they call it a boot.
Right. Then a sweater in the UK is a jumper. So they do always tend to find kind of like cuter, non-aggressive ways to call things.
I'm a big fan of calling an apartment a flat and having a flat name instead of a roommate. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
I was watching something this weekend, and they weren't British, but they were from New Zealand, and they were talking about being stuck. They were stuck in a lift for several hours. And I was like, why? How would you get stuck in a lift? Like, I'm thinking a lift, like a ride.
A ride.
Right.
Yeah. But no, they're talking about an elevator.
Yeah.
They were stuck in an elevator for. So it took me a while to be like, I'm not following the story. Like, how could you be stuck in a lift?
And queue. We say that a lot. Instead of line, stay in line,
yeah.
saying, queuing.
Also,
queuing.
Zed, is that a thing over there? Instead of Z, you say Zed.
Yeah.
All these differences. It's like a whole other country over there. So these foreign ladybirds called the Harlequin ladybird or Harlequin ladybug are invading people's homes. They're everywhere. They're getting in through the cracks in the windows. They're getting inside, which might be fun for some people because, ladybugs are cute, right? Like, people love ladybugs. Except these are, quote, riddled with STIs, which is the same as an STD here.
Yes.
So riddled with STDs, these ladybugs trying to invade your house. What is it? Is that sexually transmitted infection or?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Or illnesses, maybe?
Illness, that I guess that could be. It's some sort of fungal disease that they have, which I guess is traditionally an STD. But these bugs are. I mean, there's pictures here, which we don't have them for the stream, but you can look up this story. They're just like covering the insides of windows and things like that. But this becomes one of those.
It's terrifying. It's
gross.
It is, but also, I mean, Josh pointed out in our, or actually, I'm sorry, the person who's not here anymore pointed out in our chat, like, how do you explain this to if you catch an STD from a ladybug? How do you then go to your, wife or husband and be like, I swear it was a ladybug. It was a ladybug got me. I got too close to a ladybug.
Not only does this sound like a scam, it sounds like whoever came up with it is the person who's running the scam. Yeah.
It's some scientist somewhere that got caught, and they're like, no, it's these ladybugs that are just riddled with disease.
Yeah.
Riddled also, like, that's another term that you don't hear all that often, which has, like, a terrible connotation. Anytime something is riddled with something, it sounds awful.
They're so cute. I remember being a kid, and if you got one, it was so special, and you just, like, tickled it. It's just like, oh, my God, don't fly away. And then he flies away, and you're like, no.
I hate bugs.
So now you're like, I don't want to touch anything.
All bugs, no matter what. There's no such thing as a cute bug.
No, there's no. They have little feelers and little gross legs, and now they have diseases.
Yeah, look, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Like, ladybugs, like, I get from like far away, or you show me a drawing of a ladybug, I'm like, yeah, that's cute. Somebody gets a ladybug tattoo, knock yourself out. But yeah, just actually seeing one. Right. We got some for our. We didn't have a garden, but we had a big flower bed with a bunch of roses, and we went to the hardware store and bought like 1,000 ladybugs or something in a jar.
You can do that?
Yeah, you can, because they're good. Yeah, because they're good for, like, they eat pests, right? Like they're actually good.
Oh, of course, right.
Kind of like spiders, but so you're just supposed to like dump them out on your garden or whatever, and they'll take care of the aphids and other things that will eat your plants. It's a scam, by the way. Like, they all flew away within a day. Like, I didn't see a single one of those stupid ladybugs.
Yeah, they gotta like your house.
Yeah.
They're just kidnapped. Think about this. these ladybugs, they're kidnapped, and you expect them to stay in the kidnapped. They don't have the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
They will fly away.
They
home.
they also don't have cerebellums, Anna. So no, they're not going to get Stockholm syndrome. They don't know any better. They're bugs. All right, you put them in plants. I'm sure they're fine. Did they really fly away? Come on, a few of them stuck around, Matt. There were 1,000 of them.
I mean, maybe, but like I can't say that they weren't. That like the indigenous ladybugs weren't, there already. You know what I mean? Like
I could say that.
It could have been ladybugs that were already living there that just got to hang out.
If there were ladybugs already living there, would you have an aphid problem?
Well, I don't know that we did. That's the thing. Like it was, we were going through the hardware store and Megan sees a box of ladybugs and was like, "Well, we need these." And I don't know. I'm telling you though. I mean, maybe they did their job. Maybe they came in, cleaned it all up, and they were like done in a day, like the best workers you could ever imagine. But they all disappeared. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, yeah, they're cute from afar, but like having a box of 1,000 of them was absolutely disgusting. Yeah. I'm like, just toss it on the flowers and
imagine
get
that
out.
being in your house because
right.
they're like infesting these houses
and giving you STDs.
I'd move or burn my house down. I don't know, something.
I agree
Set
with
it all on fire. That's
I agree with you.
all I have to say.
All right, what time is it? Yeah, we can take a quick break here. We're going to take a break. I saw a Spectre roaming the halls. I'm not sure if he's going to come in or not, but whether or not that happens. When we come back, we're going to talk about babies on your nails. And if that's not a tease, I don't know what is. Actually, it's probably not a very good tease. But anyway, we'll talk about that coming up here on the lunch break on RNCN. Hang out.
Ooh, I look sexy on that camera. Oh, God.
Hell no. No, not so. Hell no. Not so.
Look at all the
See on the walls.
Look, you're on the camera.
You stepped on my feet. Oh my God, Jim. That was actually scary. I don't like how I'm scary. Me either. Thank you. I would either watch myself or.
Great stuff.
I mean,
I love haunted
that
houses.
little train just cracked me up.
Oh gosh, I love that about haunted houses where everybody goes through them the exact same way, where you're like holding on to the person in front of you, and
you
whoever
like rock paper scissors to make whoever's gonna go first go first.
it's me. Like that's who has to go first in that group.
Well, no wonder you like it then. You're the fearless leader. I hate haunted houses. I hate everything about them.
You know
I hate the trains. I hate the way people all go through the same. I hate that we've got to a place now where we're filming people in them for other people's
That's great.
enjoyment.
No, that's great.
I am not a haunted house man at all. I love horror movies. Like I love horror. I just don't like haunted houses.
When's the last time you went to a haunted house?
I was 8. All right.
Okay.
No, I take I did this haunted. I should flip between cameras while I'm doing this. I did this haunted waxworks thing in San Antonio a couple years ago, and that was a good time.
Okay.
The last time I went, I think I was 8. It was a neighborhood kind of thing. They had a bunch of tarps set up in like the park in our neighborhood, and the power had gone out. That was the whole pitch. So they had lights throughout this like tarped structure that they made with a bunch of people in it, but the lights didn't work. So they were like, "Well, you can go through, but like."
It's just pitch black.
It's gonna be worse. Yeah. So I've got this like horrible memory that I've tried to block out through therapy and alcohol about like stumbling through the dark, like trying to feel my way through this thing when I was 8, and like grabbing fur and like feeling hair and like it was rough, man. So I'm not a haunted house guy.
I love them,
but that's just me. Yeah.
I love the like the artistry of it now. You know, used to I would just go because I liked doing scary things like that, but now. When I go to them, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool prop, or that's a cool. They still get me from time to time, and there's actually a really. I'll do a shameless plug right now of a guy I know who runs this one called Dan's Haunted House, which is very.
Dan's?
Yeah, it's just called Dan's Haunted House.
I feel like that's like some
Dan's. I thought you said Dan's. Yeah. And I was like, what happened?
Well, so apparently the story was he did start like doing it out of his garage or just his home, and it just became colloquially named. Oh, we're just going to go to Dan's place, and then it just became this thing. But what I love about it is it's like near Louisville, and it's not inside, it's outside. So you're going through like the forest basically, and it's just a trail, and it's all Japanese themed. So it's like Japanese ghosts and monsters and things like folklore type stuff. Really great. And if you're in the Dallas area, check out Dan's Haunted House. I really awesome. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, I love the structure of haunted houses. Like, we've worked with some haunted house people in the past. Like, they're really cool. I knew a kid in high school, or I should say college. I had to do a project with him once. He did makeup for kids in the film department. He did, like, custom makeup stuff. That's what he wanted to do in VFX and, like, plaster molds and whatnot. And he worked with a haunted house to do, like, makeup effects and stuff. Like, I love the build of it. I love the feeling of it, but I think I'm more a behind-the-scenes haunted house guy than a guy walking through haunted house guy. I like how it comes together. I don't like experiencing it from the outside.
Let's I guess while we're on the topic of Halloween, I do have this story here about this was put together by another UK outlet, The Independent, about how to navigate the waters on Halloween without offending someone. So these are the non-offensive Halloween costumes. And it's not a bit. They're actually offering some legitimate, some of which I think is legitimate. Others, I don't know. I kind of look at Halloween like a little bit like the rules are out the window, right? Like you should be able to get away with more stuff on Halloween than maybe normal. You push the boundaries a little bit.
Yeah, big time. Are you kidding me? I got screamed at in a bar for not wearing a costume one day on Halloween, like one evening. So yeah, I'd say the rules are off the table. All right, yeah. Everybody's a little out of place.
So these are some of the rules that they have here are don't go in blackface, which I think is probably a good one. I think we probably put that one behind us.
Well. Yeah, we can put that behind us. That's fair.
Probably don't go in blackface.
No, don't.
This says don't use someone else's culture as a costume, which I think is a little nebulous, depending on, like, I don't, obviously you can do it in an offensive manner, but like I said, with going to that haunted house that's Japanese themed, some of those costumes are just really cool, and those aren't all Japanese people that are underneath those costumes, so I think...
So you can't go as a geisha or like as, for instance, Malala?
I don't know.
That's insulting now?
I guess so, yeah. Aww. It says people have fought to maintain their culture. We don't get to use it as a one-night only costume. I think in certain circumstances.
Yeah, hold on. Like I get the argument that you should be spoofing something like out of pop culture or something not directly aimed at somebody. I get that. But at the same time, in the case of Dan's Haunted House, I guarantee somebody could come along. It's like, have family from the East, and I'm incredibly offended by all of this, and you're making money off of our history. How dare you?
Yeah.
Like, you could fall down an eternal rabbit hole on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But clearly he's an enthusiast.
Right.
So he loves the culture, so hence why he put it together. By the way, shout out to Devin, who's watching.
Oh, what up, Devin? What up, baby?
Devin who?
Nobody.
Miller? Devin Miller, you mean?
Yeah.
Too many who's out
Oh,
here.
okay. Well, I didn't know. You know, like 8 Devins for all I know. I don't know who's who. I can't keep
Well,
up.
who would be the only Devin that would make sense?
Look at all this I got going on in here. Like I can look at all of this shenanigans. Look at my kingdom.
We have no more Anne Franks, which I didn't know that was a thing, with people dressing up like Anne Frank.
Really?
For Halloween.
Okay, now I want to dress as Anne
Yes, I was
Frank.
about to say I'm now going to purposely dress
Yeah.
as Anne Frank because of this art.
How does an Anne Frank costume
I don't
come together
know.
anyway?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, no escaped mental patients, so that's
Really?
You know,
What? Michael Myers is an escaped mental patient.
True. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, but I guess that's off the table.
I think
'cause
so
it's-
is Lindsay Lohan.
Oh.
You know.
Hey, that's culture again. You can't do that.
Well, no. So
that
this
breaks
goes
rule 2.
This goes to the next one. Don't dress as a trans person. So I'm not sure. It says unless you're actually trans.
Right.
But does that mean don't dress like if I were not to dress as a woman, or is that am I not supposed to dress as like I don't know a Caitlyn Jenner?
I
Is
think
that
you
not-
shouldn't intentionally dress in like spoof drag or
Right.
like a right. I
Right,
think
but
that's
if you
kind
want
of
to
what
be like
you're.
a Minnie Mouse, because that's like your lifelong dream of a costume, I think
mean,
that would be okay.
I think
like,
yeah.
I would be Ron Burgundy in a heartbeat if I could pull it off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think that's all right.
I don't want to get too far in the weeds. I think it's a matter of owning your gender, right? Like I see guys dress as women at like conventions, but they're usually very clearly a dude, and they're not trying to hide that. They're like,
Right, they
I'm
have
a
like a
dude
full-
dressed as a
they have like a full beard, but they have a
totally.
wig on or
Oh,
something
chest
like that.
hair, and it's disgusting. Yeah, like
That's
so. I
all
think,
right.
yeah, right. I think if you're leaning into your gender, and it's like, I think that makes more sense. I guess.
Yeah.
But if you're like intentionally dressing in drag, and you're like, oh, it's like I'm on RuPaul's Drag Race, like that might be.
I have friends who dressed up as each other. So they're male and female, and they dressed as each other, and it was so cool though because you could actually tell that it was they were dressed as each other. But I got a curveball. So in Europe, in the Eurovision Song Contest, which we discussed previously, which is just kind of like a song competition which happens in Europe, where every country has more ridiculous songs than the other, and performances and all the things. There was one particular singer who is trans, and his name is Conchita Wurst or something like this. Now, any chance you can Google that?
How do you even
Conchita
spell-
Wurst?
Wurst. I think it's WURS. I guess if you just
It's
write
German? Conchita Wurst? Is that what you're saying?
I think he's Austrian. So if you write Conchita and then Eurovision Song Contest, that will
Conchita
come up.
Wurst. I found him. Oh,
Awesome.
okay. I see.
So
Yeah.
a lot of people
All
for
right.
Halloween dressed up as him, and he was a very important kind of like step into bringing transgender and kind of like cross-gender
Okay, I see.
into the public eye. So then I say go
Careful.
for it.
I know, risky click here.
Careful.
Scrolling without looking. I don't know what I'm going to stumble into.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of those eyelashes.
I know they're
on
powerful.
point.
So that's where I say there's boundaries, but also like this is amazing. If you can pull such a beard and like nice, he has such great hair. Maybe
Right.
it's a wig. I don't know.
Right,
think
but like,
probably.
yeah, you see what I mean. It's like a clear ownership of gender.
Right.
Yeah.
So great.
I think that's anyway. Those are the rules put forward as.
Thank you for that
your
live production.
Halloween.
Happy to
yes,
help.
thank you for that.
Yep. Gotcha, fam.
All right, on to the story that I teased, which is called "Women Are Getting Sonogram Manicures." Have you heard about this?
No.
Oh no.
What do you mean? Oh no!
If I say
Have you
sonogram,
tried?
Yeah.
hold on. If I say sonogram manicures, have you heard of this, or are you
I
just
don't know.
assuming
I'm
what?
just assuming it's like pictures of your sonogram on your nails.
That's exactly it.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
That's exactly
God.
it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'd
that's
rather
not.
have the what was the weird one that they were doing? Like I can't even remember. It was like fingers on top of fingers or something. It was something weird.
They were putting fingers on
I
your.
don't know. I don't
Oh,
remember.
little hands maybe? No.
They did something weird, and I would much rather have that than this sonogram thing.
Okay, well, I thought it was you go to get a sonogram and you get like a sick manicure free.
At the
I'm
same
like, well,
time?
that's not so bad. Yeah, that sounds kind of
Or
neat.
it's like a spa treatment.
And
right?
That's making a
Incentive.
horrible process a little better. Like, okay, I can get into that. Yeah, I didn't know it was something dumb.
No, these are literally they're having mini sonograms painted onto their nails for what else but Instagram. So some people are doing it as a way to like announce that they're they're pregnant or whatever. This is a little dark. Some of them was to grieve the loss of a child, which like I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not gonna tell someone how to grieve, but gosh, putting a sonogram on your nail is something else.
How detailed is
pretty
this?
detailed. I mean, I've got it right
Can we
here.
get a photo? Hold on. Let me look this up.
Yeah, look up sonogram manicures.
Sonogram
Sonogram manicures. I mean, yeah, relatively detailed here.
Wow.
Have you guys ever had? I mean, I don't. Obviously, I don't go for the.
I don't do my nails, but Christina does. So I guess.
Have they ever offered to put something wild on your? Because I have a story for this, but if it's happened to you, I'd love to know.
No, I just like designs. I've never had anything too crazy.
Yeah. So a few years ago, my wife went to go get a manicure on. It just happened to be September 11th, and this was like 4 or 5 years ago, and the nail tech, no joke, said, "Do you want me to put the Twin Towers on your nails to remember September 11th?"
Wait. No, go ahead.
No. I mean, that was the extent of it. Was like, would you like? Yeah, there you go.
I respect Megan enough to know that she's the kind of woman who would get a box of 1,000 ladybugs at a hardware store. Please tell me she got 9/11 on her nails. Please.
She did not. She did not go for the 9/11 nails.
Oh, missed opportunity.
I would have loved to have seen it. Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
I think it was a function of I have to go out in public, so I cannot get the Twin Towers.
That and I'm sure you're paying the same price either way, right? Like if you're paying for a manicure, you probably want it to be something you want and not 9/11. But man,
right, yeah.
It's slightly depressing, isn't it? Like
we're laughing.
I mean, you are kind of honoring people that way. I don't
It's weird. I'm like, like that's not something like a flower. Like I've heard them ask for that. Do you want a flower on your nail? Do you want this or that?
Yeah, there's some sick designs, but
I'll get like jewels and like things like that.
Sure,
a fetus.
Yeah, do you want a fetus on your nail?
Yeah.
Nope.
Just an image of one.
I mean, there's
yours,
nails.
if that helps.
There's nails that have like a bunch of things, like kind of aquariums, of course, fake ones, but kind of like have like glowing things. Like it's like a globe, a little like snow globe that you move your finger around.
Oh, like there's liquid in there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to look up these really weird trends.
Yeah, I'm looking them up right now.
Yeah.
So
the nail game is strong.
Is not. Watch out again.
Throw
but,
this up. Yeah, here we go.
Gosh.
Oh,
it's just cool. Yeah, cool nail stuff.
Pizza Hut.
I see. Hold on, scroll down a little bit. I see like a Weed 420 one down there. Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one to wear to your job interview, guys.
That's it.
Love it.
I'm a fan of that. If you want to do Weed 420 on your nail, do that all day long. Yeah, the sonogram thing is just bizarre, and I guess they must have some sort of printing. There's no way somebody's freehanding. Some of these look a little free-handed, but I guess there's a printing technology that I'm not aware of.
I think so.
For manicures, but yeah, that's I don't know, bizarre, right? Like
it's kind of like, look.
Yeah.
Honestly,
look at my kid.
When I first saw it, it looked like marbled, like like the kitchen marbled thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a second, nope, that's.
I guess if you can hide it that way, because some of these just straight up look like a picture, but if you can hide it where it's a little bit artistic, that's kind of cool. And you're like, oh, it's my kid. That's
not so in your face.
Right. It's not just here's straight up a sonogram picture. Anyway, when we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we have food news. Food news makes its triumphant return here on the lunch break. I don't think we've done this in quite a while, but we have. Right. So we have uses for all the bad foods that you're going to throw out. Don't throw them out just yet. And also, what is the most popular Halloween candy by year? So we'll have that coming up soon here on the lunch break on RNCN. Stick around. We will be right back.
See you tomorrow, boys.
We'll keep an eye out for you.
Monster Eyes are back at Taco Bell. Get them while they're fresh.
Oh my God! Is that not? What the hell? I love how like close to the vest that commercial plays it until the last like 3 seconds that you find out it's a Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah, it's great for the first like 20 seconds, and then suddenly like the earnest, scared, stupid music flies in, and you're like watching this wacky Boglin-esque like what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know what to make of that.
Just nightmares in a barn, and he's ripping their eyeballs out. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one.
Taco Bell.
Taco
Clearly.
Bell. Monster Eyes are back.
Clearly.
Monster Eyes are back on the lunch break. Welcome back. I have a list here put together by Delish of the most popular Halloween candy by year. And this is, I will say it's not a comprehensive list because I think it only goes back to 1960, which if you're curious, Swedish Fish were the most popular candy that year. Which are,
Still pretty good.
Yep, really good.
They're all right. They're all right. So I thought it'd be, if we want to just name some years, but I'll start going through some birth years here. Which Zach, I didn't get yours. What is your birth year?
I'm gonna date myself here. 92 is
92. All right, great.
Oh, so dated.
So I'm 82, and Reese's.
You look
Pieces.
incredibly young for 82.
You see what I mean? The dating thing. Here we are now. Yeah. Whoa.
Yes, I'm 82. I'm doing very well. Reese's Pieces, the most popular candy in 1982. I think that has to do with E.T.
E.T.,
right?
that's what I was about to say.
100%.
Oh, really?
Has
Is
to do
that
with E.T.
I don't remember much of the movie because they have it.
Yeah, he lured E.T. around the house with Reese's Pieces.
Yeah,
Got
funny story. Spielberg and friends reached out to Mars to use M&Ms, and they were like, "Nope, we're not doing that. Like, we don't need some weird alien movie on our roster. Like, we don't want M&Ms associated with that."
Yeah.
So they went with Reese's Pieces and like made a brand. That was
now
the
look
big
at
one.
the most popular candy in 1982.
They got a breakfast cereal.
Thank you very much. Yeah, exactly. Reese's Pieces are great. I
Oh, they're
love
great.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, nothing wrong
I'm
with Reese's
happy.
Pieces.
I'm happy to wear that brand. The Reese's Pieces brand. 1984, that was Christina, right?
Yes.
1984, Skittles, the most popular candy.
Gross.
Stop that.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I'm with you there.
Whoa!
I'm with you.
What do you mean?
Like tropical Skittles? Okay.
Straight up
maybe.
regular Skittles are dope. Are you kidding me?
I like chocolate things.
There's where I land. I think this is more a gender thing. Like, let's throw me all the chocolate. I'm good.
If you don't have chocolate in it, I'm wasting my time.
It's a lie. It's like a raisin cookie. It looks like a chocolate cookie. It's gonna deceive you.
It's just
well,
not
yeah.
as good.
All right,
What are you talking about? What do you mean Skittles deceive you? They have an S on them. They have bright colors. There's nothing deceiving about them. They're delicious.
you
They're
know
a drop
what's
of
up with
sunshine.
you know what's up with Skittles.
Anyway.
For 1989, which is Anna, the most popular Halloween candy was the Hershey's Symphony Bar, which I don't think those exist anymore.
Symphony Bar.
In fact, I need to look up what was.
I feel like I've seen a Symphony Bar before.
in
Oh,
a
I feel like I've
Hershey's.
seen one recently.
Maybe they are
But I can't
Hershey's
remember
Symphony
what's in
Bars. Let's see what's up with the Hershey's Symphony Bar. Almonds and toffee. That's what's in Hershey's. Sounds all right. I don't like almonds, but if that's your thing, go for it. And then for 19, come on, let's scroll. 1992.
Yes.
Any care to guess what the most popular candy that year is? These are all over the place, by the way.
Snickers?
Nope.
Nah.
It is a Dove bar, a Dove chocolate bar,
The best.
Like the soap. Yeah.
which is an M&M brand.
Is it?
So
Nah.
yeah, they
It's
finally
so
they
good.
finally got back on the list.
A Dove bar?
Yeah.
You've all had these?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
I
so
don't know if I've
creamy.
ever had one.
That
yeah.
was a sleepover treat when we were kids. We get those little like Dove bar, like little tiny heart chocolates that were dark chocolate. Oh my gosh. And we would just eat them and they have little messages on the wrapper. Like little inspirational messages like your day's going to be great today and like things like that.
I feel vindicated because as I scroll through this list, I get to the 2000s, and candy corn shows up twice on that list. Candy corn
must be a misprint
in 2004 and 2007. Candy corn is the best. I don't care what anybody says.
Where's everybody land on candy corn?
I love candy corn.
Christine shaking your head.
Chocolate.
I like.
You can get chocolate candy corn. That exists.
No, it's just like this like lame flavor. It's not like actual. I don't know.
It's
I feel
delicious.
like it's
delicious.
Matt, chocolate candy corn. Where are you?
Terrible. Chocolate candy corn is terrible.
It's like a. I don't even know. It's not. It's like flavoring of chocolate.
Yeah, it's
There's
weird.
Not any
It's
real
I like
chocolate
and chocolate candy corn is god awful.
Yeah.
I'll give
need
you that.
to, man. Like today, I haven't done it yet. I've been watching horror movies. It's October. How have I not got myself a bag of candy corn?
Get
yet?
you that autumn mix.
Get the autumn
that autumn mix. You'll try the chocolate candy corn, but you'll also get the mellow cream pumpkins, which are the greatest.
Oh,
the greatest things.
Let me get a bag of autumn mix on screen. Talk amongst yourselves.
And then the last 2 years, 2016, the last 2 years the survey was taken, I guess, 2016 and 17, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup led both of those years. A classic. I love a good Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Both chocolate or white chocolate?
Just chocolate. Just the standard Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Throw that in a look at those.
Is your autumn mix?
Look at those. Look at those pumpkins. Those
I will say
pumpkins
those
are so
pumpkins
good.
are pretty good.
They are good. Those are they're candy corn.
I know, but I
It's
just
just
remember
the
from
bigger-
like if you did math the right way in elementary school, they gave you like these little pumpkins, and that was like your life were these little candy pumpkins. So I guess the memories go with it that make them good.
For some of us, that was never not our life. So, God.
All right.
Autumn mix.
So yeah, most popular candies. What will it be this year? We'll find out. I guess that's a long-awaited tease.
Do we have any kind of expectations? Do you have a contender?
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what kids are into these days. We do when we do Halloween, we do it upright. Like we get the good stuff. We have full-size candy bars straight up.
Wow.
We don't do all of them, but like some of them we have. And last year for I forget how we doled them out. I think it was just until they were gone, but we had made gift bags with candy and a fidget spinner inside of it. So these kids were like coming by and being like, "What's up with these fidget spinners? Like, we want to come get these fidget spinners." So we were like the popular house on the block.
Oh yeah.
For that, yeah, we're doing up right. I think we're
want
gonna
a
do
trick or
like
treat at your house this year.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do like glow in the dark bracelets or something this year, or something like that. But
I've always heard, hear me out, that going full size bars like Cool Treats is a bad idea because in the long run it's unsustainable.
It is.
I heard a story about a guy who had done full-size candy bars with his wife. They always wanted to do them, so like they got their first house, whatever, in the first year. They're like, we're doing full-size bars. It's great. So they run out of bars, right? They hand out like 30, and all the kids down the street start telling the other kids that are walking around, hey, that house has full-size candy bars. So then everybody makes a run on them. They run out of bars. They end up closing shop. And by the end of the night, their house is teepeed because they
Word
didn't
gets
have any
around.
candy. Yeah,
Word
so you
gets
gotta
around.
watch out. You got to come correct if you're going full-size bars.
So we do. I mean, when it comes to Halloween, we really go all out trying to like frighten children, and so it's a little bit of a like I don't know if we've gained some sort of street cred for that because no one has ever messed with us. I don't know if people really do that much anymore these days, like or maybe we just have a quiet neighborhood, but no one's ever messed with us, and we have a reputation as like the scary house on the block. So, like I guess we've earned our stripes, so to speak. So whatever we do, we're solid. Like we're not gonna get messed with. So I have an article here about ways to use food that you were going to throw away. Before I get started, do any of us have any? All I can say is like when bananas turn bad, we make banana bread out of them.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the only thing that we do when it comes to like old spoiled foods, so to speak. Anybody else have any tricks that they like to do with old food or food waste? Compost, obviously.
Yeah, I do. I actually cut when we have a lot of like spinach and stuff. I cut the stems and then I put it on soup.
Okay.
And same thing for the broccoli ends that you don't want to eat. Put them on soup. The ends of asparagus, like the thick ones, put it on soup.
Okay.
Terrible idea.
I'm noticing a trend here.
By the way,
what can't go in soup?
Terrible idea.
Yeah, literally
because
anything.
You can't really hand blend it, and they becomes this mash of fiber. Is disgusting. The only thing you should never put in a soup. That's that.
That's the only thing that should never go in a soup. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, you heard it here. I'm trying to remember. There's something that you can definitely do. I mean, you can. I tend to, if I have like leftover sauce from something that I cooked, instead of putting it down the drain, I actually just keep it in a container in the freezer, and then whenever I'm doing something, I just reuse that.
Yeah,
so.
That's a good idea. So these are a little bit more not just reusing them as other foods. Some of them are, such as turning stale bread into croutons. Which is a good one. That's a good one. And then, much like the composting, use coffee grounds in your garden or eggshells in your garden.
Let me put.
Okay.
Let me make a comment on here. I killed a whole plant by doing that.
By doing eggshells or with coffee grounds?
Just coffee grounds.
Okay.
Maybe perhaps because you shouldn't put it daily.
Oh yeah, it may.
That's what I did.
A little reading might go a long way with how to use that properly.
You know, funny story. Now's a perfect time to ask this because why not when we're live on the internet? Whenever we have like leftover coffee that we don't drink during the day, and we get in the next morning and there's a little bit left in the pot, I always think about just walking outside and dumping it in the flower beds, like out in front of the building. Is that a bad idea? Is that what I'm getting out of this?
I don't know. I know they do take care of those flowers out there. They water them. I'm not sure if that would throw anything off or not.
Well, I thought about that. I'm with you, Zach. But at the same time, like, you are adding... First, people don't know what you're putting there, so you can get in trouble with the building.
Right. They're going to see this, crazy person out there dumping stuff into the flower bed.
Crazy person? What are you talking about? Like, I'm not crazy. I look like a normal person.
Yeah, but they're like, what is that guy doing?
Every morning he's out there dumping stuff in the flower bed.
I'm holding a coffee pot. You can see what I'm doing. I'm pouring coffee on the plant.
I don't know what's in there.
Don't you worry.
I don't know what's in there.
Don't you worry. We'll find a way.
If I don't know enough, all right, I'm going to guess the engineer that might catch me doing it won't know enough to carry. All right. So that's my theory.
I start doing it.
I'll start doing it. I'll report back. Observe and report. That's me.
Well, along those same lines, there are others that to me don't seem as palatable. One of them is just throw Old Spices into a candle to refresh the scent, which I guess is okay. This one says use sour milk as a replacement for buttermilk, which I don't know that I want to use sour milk on.
No.
If it's gone sour, I'm done with that milk. Sorry,
no.
I'm not going to try to reuse that. Use butter to fix squeaky hinges. So just rub some butter on your hinges. Instead of, which we could have done here. We had a squeaky door.
We did.
In the studio, and we sprayed like a fool. We sprayed WD-40 on it. We could have just slathered some butter on it.
Let's go get a baked potato from out there.
You can use flat beer as a hair conditioner, which just sounds awful.
Oh, I've heard that one. No.
Polish your shoes with banana peels. Again,
I've heard that.
The smell of it, like the banana has such a strong smell. Your shoes will smell like banana.
Just polish your shoes the old-fashioned way. I don't know. Like,
though I'm thinking about it. Orange peels, right? I heard you can run those through your disposal, and that'll spruce things up. Yeah, that's a good one.
And one of the things that I think is disgusting, and so I don't want to try, but it's cheaper than a whitening teeth treatment, is apparently rubbing the banana peels on your teeth.
Oh, really?
Like the inside, not the outside, of course.
Right.
I feel like that would make them feel like gritty. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
But apparently it whitens them. Apparently. I have not tried
that.
And this,
I will try that and report back.
And report.
All right, please do.
This one here is one of those, how much are you actually saving by doing this? Use old peanut butter as shaving cream.
What?
I mean, like, one, shaving cream is not that expensive. Right. It's probably about as expensive as peanut butter if we're going to get down to it.
Isn't it like super thick?
Shaving cream?
Really?
No.
Oh, peanut butter?
Peanut butter. I mean, like,
Doesn't that make your face break out too?
Or you'll
clog
the drain.
Also, well, yeah, I guess there's that. Like, it wouldn't necessarily wash off of your razor
well, you're not going
all that well.
Crunchy. I'm sure it's fine.
But also, your face would just smell like peanut butter. Like I love peanut butter, but I'm not gonna put it all over my face. I can just use shaving cream.
What if a young woman or aspiring swimmer wanted to shave their legs? Huh? How about that? There are other things that are shaved.
I mean, I guess, but like, still use shaving cream. Don't use peanut butter. There's nothing about that. Seems like a better way of doing things.
Also, what's the expiry date on peanut butter?
That's what I was going to ask. Peanut butter
it lasts
old?
for years.
Yeah,
as far as
like
I'm concerned.
I've got we've got a jar at Christine's kind of family lake house. There's a jar in there of like Kirkland's brand all natural peanut butter that's like settled out because it's like natural in the oil or whatever you're supposed to mix it. It expired in like 96, and I'm pretty sure you could still eat it and it would be fine. Like it just sits in there. Yeah, peanut butter's good forever. What do you mean old peanut butter?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how old peanut butter has to get before it's considered old. But I'm no matter what, I'm not putting it on my face or I'm not putting it on my legs or whatever.
Yeah, couldn't
else
you just shave with like conditioner or something? Like there's got to be something else you could use.
Yes, certainly.
Especially when it foams up, just like slap it in your legs or whatever.
All right. Well, it is about time for us to go. I think we'll cut out of here a couple minutes, or unless we just want to get into another. Let me see if I have one more story.
I got a good segue while we were talking about.
Okay,
it.
Go ahead.
Speaking of butter, that thing I was joking about the mashed potato or the potato earlier. The reason I said if you wanted to get extra butter for the door, you could just order a baked potato from outside. I watched a guy order a baked potato out there the other day. My God. The butter they put on that thing, like this woman, just 2 heaping scoops of butter, man. It was tremendous. I've never, and that's the only kind of that's the kind of service you get from people when they truly do not care about your welfare. They're like, whatever, this guy wants a baked potato, he's getting a baked potato. I don't care at all, and I love it. But at the same time, heart health. I mean, come on, like let's be real for a second.
So I've got one more story to tie this all back around to the beginning of the show where we talk about fat donkeys or fat customers wanting to ride donkeys. This comes to us again from the UK, Middlesbrough.
Wait, Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough?
Yeah.
Middlesbrough.
Like
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, like bra. Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough.
So this comes to us from Middlesbrough, UK. Workers at a fast food joint around the entire town. There's not just at one, but around the entire town. We're told to stop serving this guy. His name is Darren McClintock, and they were worried about his obesity, his eating habits. So, like a bar who's told not to serve alcohol to a customer once they're inebriated, these fast food joints were like, we're not serving you anymore because we're worried about your health. So a campaign started called Save Dibsy. I guess he was known. Save Dibsy, obesity is killing him. Do not serve this man. And I don't know. Is that something that restaurants ought to be doing? Like, sorry, the alcohol thing makes sense because you could get in a car and hurt somebody. But food, like you're looking at it and like, sorry, I think you've had a little bit too much to eat. I'm not serving you anymore.
I think that's awful. I feel bad for it. Like, I feel like, wouldn't he feel bad, like, that all these restaurants are not serving him anymore because he's so unhealthy? Like, maybe he's trying to take care of his weight, but then he just doesn't care, so he wants to have that cheeseburger.
Yeah. I feel so horrible what people have done to me. If only I could get a hot piece of cheese to eat, and that would help me.
Yeah. And I mean, this guy, he's a large gentleman. He's probably over 500. I would like looking at him, but and he does have a picture here with him with a personal trainer. So maybe he's trying to lose weight, and this is all part of an effort,
like support
of support. But still, I think it's like they just put a giant picture of him here, like taking up the entire thing and saying don't serve him. I don't know. It seems a little pointed and interesting as far as a strategy for a restaurant to say, no, I'm not. I wish I used to, I've gone to some Brazilian steakhouses and I wish they would say, stop eating, sir. Like,
sir, please.
You're going to be miserable in about half an hour.
Yourself.
Please stop. We're worried about you.
That hasn't happened. Out of meat.
Yeah. As somebody who's here in America, we're big believers in freedom. You should be able to do what you want. I get that. But that being said, man, I think everybody's cut from different cloth. Everybody has a different talent, right? Everybody's got their own thing. And I think if you're a kind of person who struggles with self-control to the point where all of your local fast food places have come together and decided we're going to look past corporate boundaries. Mm-hmm. We're going to overlook our rivalries and our differences to come together under one banner and free this man from the shackles of the thing he cannot control himself from. I think that's maybe a good thing, and maybe just what that guy needs. So yeah, the shaming sucks, but then his nickname's Dibsy. He's lived through it, so I mean, what's the worst?
He knows what's up.
Yeah, he's fine.
I think it's the kind of thing you can do for someone, right? Like the whole town came together, right? Just say no to Dipsy. No, I think that's super cool. I mean, question number one: how big is this town? So it sounds.
I don't know.
How big is this man? That's the question.
Right.
It's funny. I wanted to put his photo up just so we could all look, and then I thought, no, that'd be fat shaming. We shouldn't do that. And then I realized the third word in the description is fat shaming. So we're already there. So I won't, worry about it.
I just think it's the right thing for a town to do if you're gonna come together in times of need. At least it's before someone dies, rather than coming together to celebrate his life because he died.
Yeah.
But what did the little poster say exactly? Didn't you say it said something like dying of obesity?
Yeah, it said, "Save Dibsy, obesity is killing him. Do not serve this man."
Couldn't there have been a lighter way of putting that? You know what I mean? If you're gonna support him and not rip his soul out.
He's trying to lose. He's trying to better himself or whatever.
But I'm amazed that English people were so strong in words.
Yeah,
they're normally
not
like
common.
that.
That's not common. Middlesbrough doesn't play.
Middlesbrough doesn't play.
They don't play.
They're like, either we go hardcore or then Dipsy doesn't make it until the end of the year.
Hey, look, if he ends up losing a bunch of weight, what a success story and what a nice way to turn it around.
True.
I guess. Isn't that that's like if you kidnap somebody and you locked them up in a room for 3 years and they lost 90 pounds and you're like, well, hey, you lost weight at the end, so wasn't it all worth it? Yeah, you're welcome.
Your personal journey is
I've done you a
inspires
solid.
me.
That's right.
All right, this has been the lunch break here on RNCN. That's giving me a big error message. There we go. I'll do that one.
Oh, God.
I guess that song wasn't there anymore. Thank you for joining us. We will likely be back on Monday. I don't know. I haven't looked at the schedule, but we'll probably be here on Monday. If not, we'll be here on Friday. If not, we'll be here never. And so you can catch us here on RNCN. Like and follow the page. Leave comments. Share this with folks that you know and you hate, and tell them you may like this thing. I'm Matt, Anna, Christina, Zach. We out.
All right, hold on. What happened to the music?
I closed the laptop. Hold on. I didn't know it would kill the music.
Yeah, there straight up. All right. There it is. My God.
I didn't do that.